Saturday, December 20th, we got 2 NFL games. It's that time of the year. We got some Saturday games. I guess it's the only this week and next week. They don't. I know everyone basically. Everyone plays on Sunday, week 18, the last week of the season, to make it kind of even and stuff for everyone. But we got 2 games. We got the Commanders and Eagles, and Bears and Packers. That's going to be a fun one. In Green Bay, or is it Chicago? It's in Chicago.
Yeah,
in Chicago. Did you hear about the Bears potentially moving to? I guess they're going for a new stadium, and they might move to Northwest Indiana. And it's like, really? Like, can you be the Chicago Bears if you're in Northwest Indiana? Like, I don't know. I know it's pretty close, but
I was gonna say don't the Jets and the Giants play in New Jersey?
Sure. Yeah.
No.
They do.
Why not?
They have an identity crisis, those 2 teams, No, I don't know. But I imagine that drive to Chicago to Indiana is like 30 minutes or something?
Yeah, it depends. Like, I don't know where their field is currently, but yeah, when you fly in to Chicago, because my wife has family in Indiana, so we've done that quite a bit. It doesn't take that long to get there. It's like right up in the corner. How would you feel if the Chargers had stayed the San Diego Chargers, even though they moved to LA?
No, that's bullshit. I'm pissed that they still use and they take out the words though. They use the San Diego Superchargers Disco 70 song. That's pretty iconic for the Chargers, but they still play it like every now and then on like Chargers games, but they don't say the San Diego part. I'm just like, that's bullshit. Like, you can't use that. I mean, They can because it's theirs. It's the teams, but Soldier Field is like right on Lake Michigan there. It's like right in the city, I'm pretty sure. Like, I mean, I've seen it. I don't know. It's like, it's in the city. So
yeah. John's here, and he's saying he would love it so much if they became the Gary Bears, because Gary, Indiana is like right there on the border.
Yeah.
So I actually drove through Gary, Indiana earlier this year, like pulling my trailer. We were on like a giant road trip, and Google Maps or whatever, when we were heading back home, like diverted us like through Gary, like to get off the freeway and drive through it and everything. And like, it has like a reputation as being like extremely run down, and it was like the burger capital of the world or whatever, the United States, like back, I don't know, in the 80s or something. And holy shit, there's parts of that town that are pretty gnarly, where it's just lots of broken windows and boarded up places and stuff. And it's like, I'm glad we're here during the day, especially like towing a trailer and stuff. Like, it never felt like unsafe, but it was kind of weird because like you're driving through and it's like, where the hell are all the people? Like, it was kind of funny.
I found a loophole. East Chicago, Indiana. It's right on the border. Like, as you enter Indiana, it's called East Chicago. So they can move there and still be the Chicago Bears. So there you go. John does have a question, and he put it in the Discord, and we're going to get to it. It's not a pimple, unfortunately. Sorry. I have it's a mole. It has like scratched off before, but it comes back, of course. So you can't pop it. I mean, you can pop it, but it comes back. So
I didn't know that you scratched it off before.
I was like in elementary school by accident, I think. Like,
well, fuck, I would hope so.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You do weird things. We've been following some, like, I always like following like season long records and stuff. We talked about like JSN and can he break the single season receiving record? He's about 300 away with 3 games to go. I think it's a little bit more than 300. Calvin Johnson. Single season is 1964. JSN's at 1637, so 330 or so. We'll see if that happens. Myles Garrett is like a sack away from breaking the record. He has 3 games to go. The Jets, that's also a mole. God, so sorry. The Jets have not still don't have a interception this year, like on defense. That's insane to me. I think they passed like it was like the 49ers did it. Like it was like the first, I think week 12 or something was like the record. And they have surpassed that. So, not even just like a deflection tipped pass. That's kind of crazy. And then Caleb Williams. Let's see where Caleb Williams is at passing yards. He has
4,000.
He has 3,150 with 3 games to go. So he basically needs 850 yards in 3 games. So what's that, like 270 or something? 275, 260. We'll see.
Yeah.
283. There you go. John has it. 283.
How do you feel about like records like that getting broken? With as far as just because now there's more games and stuff to do, right? So does it really matter?
Yeah, I always say because if we're gonna do that, because people talk about that, like they talked about that with Saquon, and they're like, oh, why am I playing? Eric Dickerson did it. He did it in 16 games. It's like, yeah, well, they also used to play 12 games in like the 50s. So are you gonna, you don't say that about Eric Dickerson. So I just think it's like just qualify it. Oh yeah, just say like, oh, this is the 16 game season rushing record or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like you can just qualify. I mean, OJ Simpson is the only person to rush for 2,000 yards, and he did it in 14 games. So he's the only one to do that. So it's like, well, does he have the record then, or or is he the only legit 2,000 yard rusher? So I don't know. I don't really care. I know Dad was kind of big on that. Like, oh, they're playing extra game. It's like, yeah, well, hopefully they do it in 16 games or whatever. So
yeah.
But he's only gone over that twice. Yeah, I just looked that up. And they're playing outdoors. I think their last 3 games. It's in obviously Chicago, San Francisco. So shouldn't be terrible. But there's supposed to be a lot of rain coming to California here next week.
The Pineapple Express, man. Not just a strain in a movie. Yeah. It's like a weather system that comes in from like Hawaii and stuff. It just brings a shitload of moisture, warm weather, or like warm air system, dumps a lot of rain, and it hits Northern California. Although San Francisco, is that Northern California? There's another discussion. It's got to be like the beginning of Northern California, right?
I think so. I mean, I consider it like not even. Yeah, I consider it northern, and they don't even play in San Francisco. There's another one. They play in Santa Clara. They used to play in San Francisco.
I mean, in fairness, the Rams and the Chargers play in Inglewood. So
yeah, sure.
Does anyone actually play where they fucking say they are?
Cowboys play in Fort Worth, I think. Or is it Dallas?
I don't know.
Arlington is where they're located. This reminds me of Dad too, from Munda Cheese. Hello.
Oh, yeah. We've heard that one.
Yeah. So John's questions. He had several here. Let's get to them here. John's garlic bread, by the way. He's our boy garlic bread. Why can't I find it here? Okay. So he said if Josh Jacobs and or London is out, pick 1 or 2 full PPR. So we don't know about Josh Jacobs yet, right?
No, they said yesterday, they said he's more doubtful. I don't remember how they phrased it, but they basically
more doubtful than questionable.
Yeah, there you go. So it's not looking good for him.
All right, let me list off his names. So he has Emmanuel Wilson, Kyle Monangai, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Deebo Samuel, Ricky Pearsall, and Harold Fannin. He says pick 1 or 2. I assume the or 2 is if London's out, right, John? Like you're playing London. If he's in, if he's out, then you need to pick a second one, essentially. So I think we're going to eliminate Bill. Yeah, I'll type him in the chat here so you can look at him. So Emmanuel Wilson, Manungai, Bill, Debo, Pearsall, and Fannin. Sending that there. So those are the six names there that he's choosing between. I think Emmanuel Wilson.
Did Pearsall not get ruled out? Or was he just trending that way? He's questionable still. Okay. Sorry.
And Rodriguez is playing, right?
Rodriguez is playing.
Chris Rodriguez.
Yeah.
He's not even on the injury. Oh,
yeah. I was like, I thought we talked about that.
I remember you saying like he was. This was on Monday.
Yeah. Yesterday, says he's good to go. That's the first game today too. So.
Yeah. So we're gonna rule out Bill there. So I think it's Emmanuel Wilson if Jacobs is out for me.
Yeah, I think he's kind of an easy one. So Pearsall's the Monday night game. John said that he's trending to play, but I do see that. So he missed practice yesterday. So I don't know if you've heard anything different, but with a Monday night game, I think you're going to have to like pick, especially Emmanuel Wilson, playing today. I think he's kind of the guy I would go to anyways. Like,
yeah.
Like I was gonna say Pearsall, even over Pearsall, I think, like with everyone else there.
Yeah.
So
and you don't have a Colt or another 49er there. At least you haven't listed one. So you don't have a pivot, it looks like. So yeah, I think we're gonna rule out Pearsall. We're gonna rule out Bill. I don't
Debo
mind.
This morning.
Yeah.
Or
afternoon, but
yeah.
I think I go Emmanuel Wilson, and then Jeffrey says Fannin. Fannin was kind of the other one I was thinking about too.
Me too.
Buffalo's they are like the toughest matchup for tight ends, I believe. And I want to say they played some decent ones as well. I'm going to pull it up here. The Bills are number one against tight ends, allowing just 7.01 points per game. Over the last month, 9.5. So not the best, but still really good.
And they haven't played like the Murderer's Row or anything.
For the season.
Well, just these last, you said 4 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like the New England guys, Mike Gesicki, the Pittsburgh guys, and Schultz. So not like terrible guys, especially if you combine, Pittsburgh got a couple of decent ones, New England the same. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's probably okay, I would say, to start Fannin.
Over Wilson
is ruled out again.
Yeah. Are you doing Fannin over Wilson if Jacobs is out though? Or
no, I'll still it'll go Wilson then Fannin.
Okay, so if Jacobs is in, then we're going to pivot to Fannin. Yeah,
I think so. I think that's the move.
Yeah, doesn't look like weather's going to be. It's going to be cold in Cleveland tomorrow. Under freezing, but it does say wind 18 miles an hour. I don't think that's terrible. That could also just change too. Like everyone's talking about Seattle and how bad their weather was going to be, and then it obviously cleared up and we saw what happened. Yeah. I'm always worried, this is my fear with the Browns is just like getting shut down completely. Bills can do that to teams as well. But I think I do lean Fannin as the pivot if Jacobs is in. So that's the way we'd go there, John. You did say, just saw the Swift is questionable too, which we will know tonight. Add on to this, would you play any of them over London, period? I wouldn't play any of these guys over London.
Not if he's back.
No. I mean, he's coming back from a knee injury. I don't see him or the team playing him if he's even like slightly questionable.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong about that, but they're out of it. They've been out of it. So would you start any of these guys over Aaron Jones, who does have a really good matchup? Aaron Jones against the Giants, which they are one of the teams to target.
I'll definitely start Wilson if Jacobs is out over Jones.
Yeah, but Wilson would be basically. So all right, we're starting Wilson if Jacobs is out, but then
no matter what,
yeah. So then these other guys, Monangai, Bill, Debo, Pearsall, Fannin, would you start over Aaron Jones?
I think that one's a lot closer given the matchup for Fannin. So it's Fannin versus Aaron Jones is basically what we're saying.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. I think that one's closer, but full PPR, I think I'm still going to just start Fannin. 25 targets in the last 2 weeks, 15 catches for 100 and what is that? 160 something yards. So he's always he's like the entire team basically, because it sure ain't fucking Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, I think I pivot. I think I pivot to Jones only because of my fear of the floor for all Browns players. I think it's close enough to go either way. And I think I would just lean Aaron Jones and just say, all right, I think he's going to give me 3 catches and 50 total yards. And I'll take that and hope that he scores a touchdown or gives you 80, 90 total yards and 5 catches or something. So, good matchup for him too. Makes me also lean that way. It's a great matchup versus a really bad matchup. Giants are second worst both in the season and in the last month against running backs. So giving up over almost 34 points per game to running backs over the last month. So
only 80 total yards or more twice since week 7, since Jones came back. Mm-hmm. So obviously he can get it, but he's still in a pretty maybe not. I was gonna say pretty decent timeshare. They're kind of all over the place as far as how they use Jordan Mason. So I guess maybe not enough to really be worried about, I guess. So
yeah. I just look at, let's see, Washington's a good matchup. Chicago, I think, is a good, or is it a bad matchup? I always forget with the Bears. It's a kind of a tough matchup, and he did well. And yeah, I'd probably lean Jones over. I'm fine sticking with Jones. You already had him in your lineup as well, so it sounds like you were kind of leaning that way. So it's one of those trust your gut as well there. So let us know if we got to all that, John, or if I missed something there. I didn't watch the boxing match, but I heard that what's his face got knocked out, and broke his jaw.
Shit.
Yeah, Jake Paul. I always forget if it's Jake or Logan. He's the influencer guy that became a boxer.
Yeah,
Tyson and stuff. Yeah,
I didn't realize. I don't know. I don't follow boxing or what do you call those, combat sports very much anymore. I used to watch them just because my friend group, and I would just be there drinking beers and shit. Wait, so Jake Paul got his jaw broke?
Yeah, he fought I think this was I forget the guy's name. Anthony Anthony Joshua. I guess he's an actual legit boxer, but yeah, 6th round knockout. He didn't knock him out unconscious, but it knocked him down. Yeah, he broke his jaw twice, I guess. So, I don't really follow boxing. I watch UFC, but I don't really follow boxing too much. So yeah, Jeffrey kind of agrees with us between those two. So Trone says, who should I play at flex? My plan is to play Emmanuel Wilson. Jacobs is out. If Jacobs plays, I'm going to pivot to Gainwell. My other flex options are McLaurin, Devontae Smith, or Jalen Warren. Everyone's on Gainwell, just all the content I listen to. It's everyone's on him, and I get it. He's been really good, especially with the catches. What's that? 4 out of his last 5 games, he has 6 or more catches. that's hard to ignore. That floor is insane, right? So, yeah, I guess the pivot. Would you play any of those guys over Gainwell?
Well, so the problem with McLaurin is you got to make that decision before you know if Jacobs is out.
Yeah,
most likely.
So I'm holding out.
What's that?
I'm going to hold out then.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to hold out because I think Gainwell. I think the other three guys are a good enough consolation prize if Jacobs does play. Because he would be the closest one to me. And then Devontae Smith, I think I'm just going to start Gainwell, honestly. Like, I think Smith's the better player on the better offense and stuff. Just never
upside.
know. What's up?
Probably more upside with Smith.
Yeah. So I wouldn't hate that necessarily either, because I really do feel like, I think I said it the other day. I was like, "Fucking, are we really starting Kenneth Gainwell?" And it's like it's been there.
Yeah,
6 or 7 catches, 4 out of the last 5 games. Like that's how they're using him. So, I don't know. I feel like you got to do it.
Yeah. Maybe if you were, you're down and you played Puka or Stafford or both and stuff, like maybe you can pivot to a higher upside option like Devonta Smith. That being said, I mean, Gainwell has some upside too. Like he gets a touchdown last week. He has 126 total yards with a touchdown and 7 catches. Like that's 25 points. So it's hard to say that Gainwell does have upside. I think we do agree that Devonta has more.
And you got to remember too, like it's Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball, and so he's dictating what's happening on the field. It's not like the coaches are like, it's like, oh, like we're scheming up Gainwell kind of a thing, Like, I mean, that's happening to a certain extent, but we know how Rodgers is in general. Like he's a very seasoned vet, and when he trusts guys, like he uses them. It's not like a fluky thing. So
yeah,
I think Gainwell is the move.
Would you play Gainwell over Emmanuel Wilson?
I don't know. That's what I was just thinking right now. It's like, would I even start Gainwell over Emmanuel Wilson? So it's a small sample size, right, of Wilson without Jacobs. It was just that one game. And he did only play half the snaps, but he was like basically their workhorse, 28 carries, 2 catches, or 2 targets. So, and that was against Minnesota.
My fear, like they won that game 23-6. My fear is like, are they going to be able to run the ball 30 times with Emmanuel Wilson against the Bears? Because that's obviously like they were winning, pretty easily, and probably most of the second half were just handing the ball off. So that's my fear there. So
Chris Brooks is the other guy who was playing alongside Emmanuel Wilson in that game, and he's questionable. So, and obviously Marshawn Lloyd is on IR. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like, have they elevated anyone from the practice squad?
Yeah, I mean, they still can. Let's see they have to have someone on the practice squad. They can't go in. Pierre Strong, who can catch passes. He's done in the past. I might go Gainwell over Emmanuel Wilson. As crazy as that is.
I don't hate that. But
I just don't know. Yeah, Chris Brooks, if I could go back and find what week was that week that Emmanuel Wilson played?
12.
Week 12. I want to see if I can find what the split was. So Chris Brooks played, they split early downs. So the snaps were pretty even, like you said, 37 to Emmanuel Wilson, 29 to Brooks. They split early down work. Emmanuel Wilson got the goal line and the short yardage. Chris Brooks had 6 third down snaps to Emmanuel Wilson's 3. They didn't have a 2-minute drill, so we don't know who's in the 2-minute drill there. I'm just, using that for catches and stuff. So I don't know. Yeah. I might go Gainwell over Emmanuel Wilson. I don't feel super confident in that. I don't mind if you want to go Emmanuel Wilson. I wouldn't argue that at all, but I wouldn't be surprised if Gainwell has a better game because I don't know if they're going to be able to hand the ball off 30 times to Emmanuel Wilson.
Yeah,
Could.
so Jacobs rushed 20 times 2 weeks ago against the Bears. So if you think if the game script's going to be similar, I'm trying to remember if there was weather in that game, but I don't think there was.
There's always weather, technically.
Yeah, I know.
I
The
know
weather is the ceiling. I got it.
Yeah. Yeah. I might lean Gainwell over Wilson. So, but I honestly don't. Trone, like it sounds like you were kind of set on starting Wilson, and I would say trust your gut there. But if Jacobs does play, we're going to go Wilson or Gainwell pretty comfortably over those other guys. So, Debo is a maybe. Oh, for the other question, yeah, Debo has been inconsistent, but I'm not super worried about like Jaden Daniels not playing for the Commanders, guys. That's not really factoring in much for me. So, yeah, Debo always has some upside potential. He just hasn't been great, really, the last 3 weeks or so. So, yeah, last Jacobs news we really got was that late. Was it yesterday late or afternoon where it just said he's more doubtful than questionable. So, luckily, we'll know, before the evening game here. So I don't have my phone on me, so I don't know if there's been any updates, but appreciate you, John. And are you moved on, right, John, in the toilet bowl in Poseidon? I think you did. So good luck in that matchup against Sealy. Yeah. You're against Idol. Sorry, you're against Idol. So, and looks like you had a pretty good start. I'm against Sniper, and he had JSN and Puka. So that's a tough start for me, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I still have a 30% shot. So, that's a pretty decent shot, even playing those against those guys. So, he also had Shaheed. So, Shaheed had 9 points in that league.
Oh, wait,
Start Pollard. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Epic Ape Fight. Morning. PPR wide receiver two wide receivers, or like your wide receiver two. So you're looking for a wide receiver and a flex?
That's the way I read it. So I think the real question here, I mean, you could read the whole thing, but I mean, it's DK, Michael Wilson, Sutton, Evans, Pittman. I'm assuming we're picking 2. I wish I could pick 3. I want to know which one of these guys you're starting Michael Wilson over if Marv is out. Is it all of them?
No. I think I said Thursday. I was okay with Metcalf. I think I might be okay with all these guys over Wilson if Marvin Harrison plays. It was the Mecca Buka was the guy in question. Actually, I would play Wilson over Pittman.
I was saying if Marv is out, or sorry, if Marv's in, are you starting Michael Wilson over Sutton?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I said we talked about this definitely with DK. I don't know about these other guys. And I was saying to start Wilson over Ibuka if Marvin was in, but these guys are a different level in my opinion. I would start.
Sorry, I did mean out. I know I keep changing it, but so if Michael
out,
so if Marv is out, are you starting Michael Wilson as the wide receiver 2 over Sutton Evans?
Yes.
Okay.
If Marv is out, Wilson's in for me.
And then who's the other guy? I guess that's the real question.
The other guy for me, I think, is Evans. It's very close
between him and Sutton
and DK. To be honest, all those guys are kind of grouped together, in my opinion. I think I would lean on the volume. Plus, we know that Mike Evans needs to average 200 and what is it, 50 yards to get to 1,000. So we know that's going to happen. No, but I mean, I just can't ignore the target volume there. Like Metcalf, always in contention for a big game, but he's also a little inconsistent. Sutton, I kind of feel the same way. I feel pretty comfortable starting Evans and Michael Wilson if Marv is out. Now, if Marv's
Yeah.
in, then I'm going to pivot to definitely Evans, obviously, and then
I'm going to go Sutton. If Marv's
yeah,
there.
I don't mind it. I might lean DK. Lions have been the worst team against wide receivers. They've given up 52.61 points over the last month to wide receivers. That's insane. Obviously, that's all their receivers, but still, that's a lot of points, man.
Well, DK Metcalf is all the receivers on the Steelers besides Gainwell.
So I actually might go Metcalf there, but I don't mind Sutton either.
Okay, so they played the Rams with Adams. They played the Dallas guys, the Green Bay guys, and the Giants over the last
2 really good wide receiver cores. One team with what was the third team?
Green Bay.
Yeah. And then Giants guys. Yeah. So, I mean, even on the season, though, they're second worst, almost 40 points a game.
I mean, that's a decent mix of guys for sure. As far as like the last 4 weeks, it's like 2 really good sets of guys, and then one kind of just a bunch of guys, and then the Giants, who's basically just Wandale. Maybe Slayton was there in that game. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I might go Metcalf over there. Could be a shootout. They are playing in Ford Field, so it's going to be indoors, no weather concerns at all. I don't know where Denver is. Are they in Jacksonville? So there might not be weather concerns there either. But no, they're in Denver actually, because I remember them talking about the kicker. The kicker for the Jags kicked like a 68-yard field goal earlier this year.
Yeah,
about
long,
little.
No,
so the opposite. Is it the opposite? No, short would be the opposite. No. Yeah, short would be the opposite. But anyways, he kicked like a 70-yarder in the preseason. So they're talking about like, is he gonna game-winning 75-yard field goal or something insane?
Might as well give it a try if it's 4th and 30 or something, and you're at your own 40-yard line.
That's so insane, man. I remember
anyways, go ahead. That's only 50.
No, it's just crazy, like the progression of kickers. For what?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm just trying to do math.
Add 17 or 18. I always forget if it's 17 or 18 that you add. I think it's 18.
I think it's 18.
Yeah. I just remember like with kickers, like anything over 50 was like you're nervous, and now it's like anything over like 50 or anything under 60, you're like, they better make this damn kick, So yeah, epic. Hopefully we got to all that. So Michael Wilson and Evans if Marv's out, Evans and DK for me if Marv's in, Evans for and Sutton for my brother if Marv's in. So Evans is the for sure start of those guys. And if you're starting a third, then it's easily, Sutton / DK there. So Pollard or Rico?
I think I'm going to go back to Rico. Are you worried about his involvement last week? Because it was good. So we were kind of like wondering like what this was going to look like when they came back off the bye, right? It could just be riding the hot hand somewhat. Chuba kind of was just better before their bye, but it's still a 60-40 split the last 2 games, like one for Rico, one for Chuba. So it could just be that again. And I don't necessarily mind that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not super worried about we talked about that when people were worried about him, a couple weeks ago. It's like, well, he's still got like 20 touches and stuff, and then basically the same thing this last week, right? He's just not producing with it. Pollard's been running well. It was against 2 good it was against Cleveland and San Francisco. I don't think San Francisco's defense is great, but obviously Cleveland's is pretty good. Now they play the Chiefs. I think I still lean Rico, just because I think the floor is worse for Pollard. So, you said Rico, right?
Yeah, I did. Where are the Chiefs for points allowed? I was okay. Yeah, points allowed to running backs. They're fourth. They're the fourth worst matchup.
Yep.
So,
And in terms of points per game, they've been basically like bang on that the last month. 18 points for the season, or 18 and a half for the season, 18 for the last month. So, yeah, although I know they have a bunch of injuries, the Chiefs. One of their linebackers is out, one of their corners is out. Actually, that's it on defense. Oh no, one of their safeties is out. One of their defensive tackles is out. So I don't know if all those guys are starters off the top of my head, but I know I remember seeing like their injury report. So yeah, we're gonna go Rico there. I think the floor is just better. So no problem. Trone, hello, Alex. Okay.
people
Parkinson only put up.
Why not? It makes me laugh.
Yeah. Parkinson only put up 4 points, so currently only have a 39% chance to win. My other starters are Nix, Nico, Olave, CMC, Barkley. Should I consider upside with? Oh, so that's going back to Gainwell versus Devonta Smith. I mean, you have a lot of upside there in general. I don't know who you're playing, obviously, but I can't imagine you dropped I can't imagine you dropped from the favorite to 39% chance to win because of Parkinson. So
Yeah, we kind of talked about that, right? Like how far off his projection was he actually? Probably 4 points, 5 points.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's killing you necessarily. I do agree with that next part. Like Philly's offense is just so frustrating to watch. I know it's like, remember when everyone was like, "Oh, AJ Brown is dead and Devonta Smith is the guy," and it's like that's just kind of their offense in general. So I think you kind of summed it up pretty good, Mike. As far as like, I think Gainwell does have upside also, so.
Yeah. And another thing here is like, what are the chances that Devonta Smith and Saquon Barkley go off?
Yeah.
Probably pretty low. And you're not benching Barkley. So I think I just stick with Gainwell. And I mean, this could be a game like Hurts threw for 3 touchdowns last week, but he only threw for 175 yards and 15 times. Like this could be another game against the Commanders. Although, Commanders they could put up points, I think, with Mariota. I don't think they're going to win, but they can put up points. But yeah, I think I just stick with Gainwell, Trone. Like theoretically, Devonta Smith does have more upside, but also I'm curious now, how many games has he even boomed in this year? Like Gainwell's at least had a handful, right? Devonta Smith. I mean, his best game is obviously 9 for 183 and 1. Other than that, is 8 for 114. I don't consider that a boom game. It's a really good game, 19 points, but without the touchdown. So he's one boom game there.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the most recent comment that you didn't take off. He just says what you guys do. It's like man. I just think it's kind of funny, the idea. It's like you're basically like channel surfing like on YouTube, and you're just kind of like, oh, what are these guys doing? And you're just like watching the show, like not even knowing what the fuck we're talking about. Hey, welcome.
That's what's happening.
Fantasy football.
It's all about fantasy football, Adam. So if you don't play, you should play. But yeah, that's what's happening because we always get the random some political post or something like. That was the one I just deleted, something about Trump. I was like, I'm not dealing with it. No politics here. We talk fantasy football. It's our way of escaping what's happening in the world for an hour. So, Yeah, so I think I stick with Gabo, Tron. I think you're exactly right. It's so damn frustrating, and he's not targeting him. He's not throwing the ball a lot. Like you just can't do it. Jabo, a trade high during the offseason in Dynasty. Probably a guy like JMO.
What's he
Yeah,
up to on keep trade cut? I think roster size / construction really matters here too. Like in deeper leagues like us, like
yeah,
he's definitely a guy that you want if you're starting, four receive like three receiver in a flex league, especially if
yeah.
it's PPR. Well, not necessarily, especially he's not a huge PPR guy necessarily, but um, yeah, I think like he's a perfect guy to be starting there because you know what the potential is in any given game. I don't know. What do you think that his season looks like if Dan Campbell hadn't taken over play calling? And is that going to keep happening? It's like that's like obviously an impossible question. You might have a better read on that kind of stuff, but
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question on both sides. Like, did that, how much, how much was it Dan Campbell taking over? Um, and like, how much was it just like most receivers, unless you're like a top five guy on the season, kind of go through these like ups and downs. It's just like JMO's was kind of all coming at the beginning of the year. So it's hard to know for sure. Crazy that he's going to have a better season than last year. Is basically in terms of like well, he missed 2 games last year, so he's actually like having the exact same season as last year. 3.9 to 3.7 catches, 66.7 yards to 66.9 yards. He has 7 touchdowns on the year, so he's doing better with the touchdowns. Where is he at? Keep trade cut.
Wide receiver 21 currently. He's just ahead of Travis Hunter, AJ Brown, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Zay Flowers, Luther Burden, Addison. So, and just behind guys like honestly, that I don't know if he can really move ahead. Like going up to 15, it's McConkey, Marv, Adunze, BTJ, Olave, Higgins right in front of him. So I think he's kind of appropriately valued, like given those guys. He did say Dennis did say that 3 wide receiver and a flex, but he has London, DK, and Nico as part of his squad too. So that's pretty good, right there, flex him kind of a thing.
And,
so
and I mean, he's talking dynasty, and so he also has Rome and Golden, so
okay,
as well. Since this is dynasty, yeah, I agree. I think he's appropriately ranked. He is wide receiver 12 in total points in PPR.
I know that was crazy to me when I saw that.
And so, if someone's valuing him as like a top 12 guy, then he is a so high. But if you're telling me like, oh, I can get basically equivalent value for a low end, wide receiver 2, I think I'm just keeping JMO because this offense is going to be explosive, and we know what his upside is, the top 12, top 15 guy. So,
yeah, I mean, so I like if someone's offering me a first and a second, I think I'm just going to keep them. But if you're getting offered, what do you think? You keeping at a first and a second in this year?
Where are those picks?
Let's say they're, I don't know, kind of mid-range. So like, I don't know, 6 to 8.
I might do it for that because I don't think you can get much more from him.
Right.
And then see what I can get for those picks. Could I get a better receiver for that? You never know.
He's probably a tier up kind of guy, right? Like you package a pick with him to try and move into that upper echelon of guys.
What about like a tier? I agree. I think he's more of a tier up guy to try and get to like a top 12. A Nico call. I know you already have him, but like a Nico, like trying to get to a Nico, a Rushy Rice, a Tetaroa, like that tier of guys. I'll happily do it, especially in shallower leagues. What about like a tier down? What about like a JMO? Maybe this is just essentially like a first and a second, but like JMO for a first and Luther Burden, do you kind of just view that as like a first and a second? Or do you kind of view it a little bit differently? I think it's different. Luther Burden would easily be a first round pick, most likely in this upcoming draft. So I will say that.
Yeah,
is that something you would think about doing?
Yeah, I don't mind that. Just to try and get a little more ammunition. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind tearing down to him, or even to a guy like Flowers or Addison as well, you know.
What about to Michael Wilson?
It's going to be so interesting to talk about him. I actually want to do some research on like players who've like been in the league for several years who've done like really nothing and then just like absolutely exploded. One that does come to mind is Corey Davis, if you remember him from the Titans. I think it was the 2020 season. He had like a really good stretch run in the 2020 season. Yeah. He had like a Michael Wilson-esque like run here. I'm going to pull it up here.
Yeah.
Basically
and then had a long and storied career.
Yeah. So his basically second half of the season, he was on pace for 75 catches, 1,263 yards, 5 touchdowns. So maybe not quite as good as what Wilson's been doing. But like if you even take out a couple games here, like that's even better. That's one that comes to mind. And then he did nothing. So we'll have to talk about him in the offseason. But
yeah, those stretch runs, I feel like they're a little easier to determine if guys are deeper in their career. But even think about like, I felt like we were all kind of a little unsure about Amon-Ra St. Brown but that was his rookie year. Obviously, that's like the huge difference maker. But it was kind of like going into year 2. Was that the first year the Lions were actually good? Was 2021?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't even know if they were upswing. Good. What's that?
I don't even know if they were good in 21. No, they were 3-13. So it was 2022 is when they got good.
Okay, so that was part of the conversation too. Then, like, where it's like, is that going to happen? Is that sustainable? Is that one of these stretches like we're talking about? But they made the trade for Goff after that year, going into 21, and just kind of really change things around like huge. So yeah, it was kind of interesting to look at. Are the Cardinals the next Lions is what I'm asking.
By the way, the 2022 Lions were 9-8. But they won. They basically like won out, and that's when they beat Green Bay in the last game of the season and kept them out of the playoffs. And so that like kind of trampolined them.
Yeah.
Is that right? Trampolined them? That doesn't sound right. Anyways, so more context here. He has the 101. So Jeremiah Love, where we stand right now, he has Jeremiah Love. Could be like a Fernando Mendoza if he comes out, but if it's not one of those quarterbacks, I don't really see it being anyone but Jeremiah Love. I don't know if that's true, actually. There's going to be this wide receiver class could save this class a little bit, but a little bit too early to know. We'll just say, okay, it's the 101. So I think what you were just touching on, Brian, saying to tier up, if I'm going to add the 101 in JMO, I need like a top 10 wide receiver, top 10-ish. I need obviously the top guys. I don't think you're going to get those guys, JSN, Jamar Chase, Nakua, Neighbors, Amon-Ra CD, Jefferson, even London. I don't know. Like, obviously, if you can get one of those guys, smash, especially in shallower leagues. Would you do it for guys like Rashee Rice, Tedero McMillan, Emeka Ibuka, Nico Collins, the 101, and JMO?
I would do it for Nico. I would do it for Rice.
A little bit scary.
What's that?
The two rookies are a little bit scary, right?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And then the guys below them, I'm not doing it. No. I mean, honestly, here's a thought. If you have the number 1, I wonder if that means if you had the 201 also. Because that's a valuable pick as well. Can you package JMO with the 201 to get to like a guy like Garrett Wilson?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Buy low on Brian Thomas. What do you think? 201
Yeah.
ML for BTJ.
I don't mind doing that if you believe in Thomas. Yeah, for sure. It's a risk, of course, but I will say this too, Dennis. If you did earn the 101, then like JMO is, depending on how bad your team is, maybe he is a piece to potentially rebuild with as well. So like, yeah, but I'm not doing that trade if I'm not getting those guys we just listed. And I kind of agree with you. The rookies are, if you believe in them, then go for it. But they are more risky for sure. Running backs, I mean, I need again probably the top 7-ish guys. Like, would you even do that for like I don't think I would do that for like, oh man, I'm thinking about it now, like the 101, which is going to be Jeremiah Love potentially, and he's going to come in probably as a top 7 running back, whether it's fair or not. Like, I don't know if I would even do that for like James Cook, Bucky Irving, even Travion, like, is kind of like, I don't know. So I might, running backs is even smaller group of guys I would do that for.
Yeah, I mean, if he does say RB is in need, yeah. So maybe because I was just even thinking, I was like, are you even packaging your first and your second to get one plus JMO to get one of those really high end guys? And it would have to be like one of those like top couple of guys. But that's a little too much.
Gibbs and Bijan and Achane.
What's that?
I think I would only do that for Gibbs, Bijan, and Achane.
Sorry, I was back on the receivers. But I don't even know if I would do that necessarily because if you're a rebuilding team, you need the picks. Like you need the volume to take multiple shots on these guys. Like if you're trading essentially like 3, like 1 really high value and 2 like really good value things to get like 1 stud, that's not necessarily going to like make your team that much better.
Is this super flex, Dennis? Because that does also change. I think the 101 becomes even more, it becomes even more of an asset if it's not super flex. If it's 1 quarterback. I know you said it's a 3 wide receiver and a flex. I'm curious how many starters you have in this league. Because shallower leagues, I'm fine with like moving, JMO and the 101 for like an elite prospect. Deeper leagues,
I think I think that's a good. Sorry, I wasn't really paying attention when you started talking about running backs, but yeah, no, that's legit. Like trading the 101 and Jameson for one of these high end, no doubt about it. RBs. So
crazy that Genty. I mean, I get it, but hasn't really lost value at all this year. Still RB5. Just shows you like the staying value for these top picks sometimes. It's a 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, so that's 3, 6, 8, 9. So it's a start 9.
2 tight end league.
2 tight. Oh, did I count that wrong though? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Start. Wait. 3, 6, 7. Yeah, start 9, right?
Yeah.
And 12 team, I assume. So it's on the shallower side. So you want to get these high end assets if you can, like, even just a couple of them. So I don't mind tearing up for sure. But yeah, it has to be one of those top 10 wide receivers, 10-ish. Basically, like, go to Keep Trade Cut and look at the wide receiver rankings. It's all those guys in the top 12. Except for the 2 rookies, I'd be a little bit hesitant on unless you really believed in them. I wouldn't do it for Pickens or Garrett Wilson or McConkey, those guys that are right outside the top 12. And then the running backs, yeah, to me, it has to be like Gibbs, Bijan, Achane, because you're getting Jeremiah, giving up Jeremiah Love essentially. Like he's going to be right there with Genty when he comes into the league. Whether or not he's better, I don't know, but he's a potential like top 10 pick who's going to go to the Chiefs. Imagine that. So join us in the offseason, Dennis, and we're going to talk a lot more Dynasty, and we'll get a lot more clarity on this draft. Also join our Discord for anyone that's not in it. And whenever we go live and stuff. So sorry, you were going to say something?
I was just going to say a couple of things. If your trade deadline's not passed, trade them now to a contender.
Yeah.
especially if the contender has an underperforming guy or that's not going to help him, like a Rashee Rice or a Justin Jefferson.
Or a Jacobs who's not going to potentially play, you know? I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah. I guess
The other thing I was going to say, I know you have a hard out in like a couple of minutes, and
Yeah.
our guys started showing up. We got Marv and
Yes.
Down with Fun here.
Let's get these real quick, and then we got to take off. We'll be live again tomorrow, guys, an hour before the games. At least me, maybe both of us. So, benched Walker for Brees. I'm sad.
Yeah,
but
don't
I get
worry.
it.
The process was correct. I did too. Not for that, not for Brees, but
yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's still hope there for sure. What's up? Down with Fun. Need one wide receiver, 2 flex. So you got Keenan Allen, Coker, Watson, DJ Moore, Sean Tucker. I like DJ Moore without all those guys.
yeah.
I think it's Coker and Watson if he plays.
Yeah, which you'll know today, which is convenient, because then you have pivots.
Keenan Allen is getting targets, but like he's just not doing much with it. I would start, who are you starting, Keenan Allen or Tucker if Watson's out?
I know that was kind of where my head was already going. Like,
he has to be Allen.
Yeah, I think so. There's just no role outside of the goal line for Sean Tucker.
Yeah, and that could go away too.
He's playing in the teens for snaps. Yeah, and that could easily go if they're in hurry up or like he could just not get that. So it's a very specific situation. So it's got to be Keenan Allen. If Christian Watson's out and if he's in, then it's Coker, Watson, and DJ Moore. DJ Moore is the no doubt about it.
Yeah. And Watson is too with this group of guys if he plays, in my opinion. Yep. So
yeah.
Awesome. So we're gonna be back tomorrow, guys. Appreciate you all. Win those matchups. Hopefully, we got some decent amount of fantasy relevant players going in today's game. So enjoy the games, and we will see you all tomorrow, hour before the games. Join us and join the Discord if you're not in it already.